Introducing the 2 racks a week challenge.
Don't shoot. Which I need some proof. Just watch my videos, man.
Video and then, you know, you just showing all your 2,500. I said, okay. All right, that's me with that.
68 hours, so it was $2,075.60.
I work like 70, I don't remember, like 73, 74 hours. I made like 3,400, close to 3,500.
I made $2,001.
62 hours, and I had 2,400.
Introducing the 2 racks a week challenge.
All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have another winner of the 2 racks a week challenge, man.
Yeah.
Here we have Jakar. Jakar, do a quick introduction. Let them know what market you driving in and what platforms you drive on.
So I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Midwest region.
Okay.
I'm driving on Lyft mainly right now, man. I was doing DoorDash. DoorDash was all right. You can make a little 15, maybe even 16, 17. But you definitely do that ride share for them 2 racks, man.
Okay, all right. How long were you doing DoorDash?
Man, I've probably been doing DoorDash for like just under a year, like 11 months right now. I think in about May or so it'll be a year.
Okay, May it'll be a year. And you still do DoorDash on the side? Oh, it's just strictly rides now. Oh, okay.
In the morning time, maybe for like an hour, just to see what it's hitting for.
Okay, and out of those 11 months, how many of those months were full time?
Pretty much the whole 11, man.
Oh, damn! You jumped straight into it, just full time.
Man, I was working a full-time gig. I was I sold cars. I was working at a dealership full-time, and it hit a slow season. I was like, man, these bills high, man.
Right, got to do something.
Got to get some extras.
Yeah, all right. So, what about DoorDash appealed to you? Because, you know, a lot of people probably would look for something more, you know, stable, you know, like a steady check with some benefits. What about DoorDash that, you know, fits with your personality and that was appealing to you?
Honestly, when I first heard about it, man, like I said, I sold cars probably about 6 years of my life. And I'm thinking DoorDash is like teenage college kid.
Yeah.
Joke money, man. Joke money.
Yeah.
You know, especially like, you know, in the car sales field, you can make 10, 15 grand in a month.
Right.
Which, you know, it's straight, but, you know, it's taxed also and all that stuff.
Right,
so,
right.
You know, it hit slow season. I was like, man, I got to figure something out to one of my coworkers, make an extra little 500 for, you know, rent 2 G's, rent due, man. And he was like, bro, do DoorDash, just try it. I'm like, man, I'm not finna do what college kids do to get a lunch real quick, man. Go in there and steal them a bag of lunch. I ain't doing that, bro.
Right.
I did it one time. I was like, man, I just made like $200 in like 6 hours.
Change your perspective, huh?
Change my perspective the same day.
Yeah. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's stay in that moment right there. All right. So a lot of people would have that type of, you know, viewpoint or perspective about, you know, like gig work. You know, I get it, you know, because you see a lot of college kids or, you know, especially with deliveries, people that's a little bit younger, maybe, you know, 20, I'm not sure how old you have to be. So I would say under 25 for sure, like around 21 to 23, or, you know, a lot of foreigners who really do, you know, deliveries. They come in with the cell phone, they point, and, you know, who can't really speak English. So I get it. But then a lot of people, they be like, man, I don't want to do that. That's not a real job. But shit, $200 in 6 hours, like what was going on through your head right there? You like,
man, I gotta see it to believe it person, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta see it to believe it person.
Mm-hmm.
That changed my perspective. I was like, man, You know, some people might be telling the truth about what factory workers, man. You do Lyft and Uber and all that stuff, man. You might pick up a factory worker. They say, "Oh, this job paying X, Y, and Z," and you know, dang going well. It ain't really either that easy or it ain't paying that much, man.
Right.
So people be lying a lot, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. People definitely be lying, man. And you know, once you hit that 200, that first day, then yeah, what was your thought process? You know, moving forward.
Oh, it's history since then, man. I was like, yeah, I got to keep on doing this, man. And I actually ended up phasing myself out of that to do that. You know, I was in car sales for about 6 years. I started making that at 15. You know, I think the first month I was making like 1,200 a week on top of selling cars, which was still making me pretty good money at the time. But I started, being like, man, I don't want to do this no more.
Hey, hold on real quick. Not to cut you off, but this was in 2024, right?
This was 2024. Yeah.
Okay, the reason I brought that up because people need to like hear, the exact time period, just because there's so much information out there on the internet, people just complaining, talking shit.
Oh yeah. That's all I see in videos.
But you was making 1,200, a week
first month,
plus having another job. So this goes to show you the possibilities, the type of flexibility that you have. Even if you don't do it full time, you do it part time, and it's like you can still earn $1,200. So you go ahead.
Man, brother, let me tell you this, man. When I was 18 years old, I had three jobs, and I was a full-time college student.
Okay.
18 and 19 years old.
All right.
I worked at a bank. So at 18 years old, I worked at a bank from like 7 in the morning to like 3 or 4. And then I worked at B-Dubs from like 5 until like, 12, 1 o'clock sometimes.
Which is Buffalo Wild Wings for the people who don't know.
Yep.
Okay.
And then on like a weird days, like either Tuesday or Wednesday, I had 3 classes scheduled all in one day because that'd be my off day from them jobs. And then I had 1 online class.
Okay.
So I've been like I've been the hustler since the get-go, bro. All right. I was at 15, 16 years old, man, I had a full-time job and still, I graduated high school, went to college.
Okay. Yeah, man. There we go, man. And it's like, just what was like the goal for yourself at that, particular time? 3 jobs,
Man, I just wanted to have 20 G's cash money in my hand on Facebook, bro. And I did it, bro.
Oh, for real?
I did it.
Hell yeah. And that's what I always say, man, if you have a goal, you have something to strive for, and you'll be surprised. A lot of times you actually end up hitting it.
Yeah. That's funny. I'm gonna tell you something in 1 second. So at 18, man, my goal was just to look good, man, and which wasn't a high goal, obviously. I blew a lot of that money. I bought crazy stuff around that time. I think Robin jeans was the stuff I was wearing, if you know what those is, man.
Yeah, I know Robin.
$1,000 jeans.
Yeah.
All kinds of crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
But I ain't want to sell drugs, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't want to sell drugs. I ain't want to do nothing illegal. I ain't want to risk my freedom. I knew there was other ways to make money, bro.
Yeah. No, that's commendable because, a lot of times people end up taking the wrong route to get, fast money, but those also comes with, those type of, problems. You want to be able to sleep comfortably, end up getting in trouble with the law, stuff like that. So you found a way to hit your goal to earn 20 G's, regardless how silly it may sound to some people, but that was your goal at the time. So
it was, man.
And you hit it. That's the that's the most important part. So you was DoorDash and 1,200 plus, the car sales job.
Yeah, selling cars.
Do you still have that job, or you just completely end up switching over? When did you switch full time to DoorDash?
I stopped doing that. And I started. We went to Vegas. We was there for like 8 months, 9 months, something like that. We lived there. We lived just off of Cheyenne Road.
All right.
Like the northwest side, like not near North Vegas is on like the east side, it's the north side.
Okay.
And they lived like right above Summerlin. We lived like 4 blocks up from Summerlin.
Close.
So
All right.
if you know where that's,
Yeah, close to Red Rock.
That's in the area.
Yeah.
That's like 10 minutes from us.
All right, all right.
You know where the Sonic is on Cheyenne Road that's going westbound instead of eastbound?
Possibly.
Or do you know where BJ's is? Brew House? Not the one on North Bay, not the one on the east one on the west. But yeah,
I've probably seen it, but
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, man, I was thinking I've been a fan of your page for probably like a year and a half, 2 years at this point, man. Okay. And I just started doing Lyft maybe 5 months ago. I'm like, I can make 1,500 pretty consistently. Me and my girl, we just recently decided that we're gonna end up buying a house. You need that down payment and money for the house. You gotta be in the account. Yeah. And you gotta be able to prove it and all that stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can make 2 G's. Okay. And I keep in mind I had an okay Monday. If you're gonna look at the screenshot, I had
I'm gonna pull it up shortly. Yeah.
A bad Tuesday because I had personal stuff going on. Then the rest of the week I just went crazy, and I got a bonus one day also where I hit like 500 in one day. Crazy thing about that was like 3 a.m. I hit 500. It gave me another ride to go to Chicago, which is an hour and a half away.
Damn.
They were only going to the airport. So that was only like an hour away. Could have been less if I'm speeding a little bit.
Yeah.
I was going to do it, but I was at the points where I'm like blinking heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? You blinking heavy, man. I'm like, man.
It's going to be bad, especially on those long trips. You know it's going to be bad.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. I was like, nah, I ain't going to do it. Yeah. I ain't going to risk nobody's life or mine, not tonight, man, to be at 600. It ain't worth it.
Okay.
So I ended up making the 21, whatever I made. And, right now, honestly, I'm pacing another 2 G's. I'm about to get back out there. I made 150 before, I had my brother's recital stuff and, the meet, interview with you. And I'm at 150 for the day, about 145, 150. And I'm at like $900, $1,000 for the week already.
Not too shabby.
So
there we go. All right, nice, man. So what sparked because I know you say you've been a fan of you've been a fan of the channel for like a year and a half. What sparked your interest to drive in Lyft instead of staying DoorDash? Because most people I don't want people in my car, I don't want to deal with that. They find it's more lucrative or it's not as taxing as on their car. Like, what made you switch over to rides?
They had a referral bonus. I said that's gonna be my trial period to see if I like it, don't like it. Okay. I had a brother-in-law that didn't like it. He said it's all right. You make all right money, but me being me, I know I can work an app the way it's supposed to be worked to make the most out of my time.
Yeah.
With that being said, I take everybody's word with a grain of salt. Yep. Just because you bad at it, you might be a slacker at every single job you ever had. Yeah. To each his own, but I'm going to make the most out of my time every time, no matter what I do.
Absolutely. I like the fact that you said that because I always had like the same mentality and same character. It's like everybody has a story. It may not be true. It may be true, but most often than not, it's not true at all. And most people are extremely lazy and they lack accountability.
Discipline, accountability, everything, bro.
Yep.
Every day I wake up, I clean my car out, vacuum the side where people sit, wipe down everything, disinfectant wipes, and a spray bottle full of scent deodorizer in my car, bro.
Oh, hell yeah.
Cleanliness is next to godliness, no matter what religion you believe in.
Absolutely. So once you signed up, you got the referral bonus. You like, all right, man, I'm gonna see for myself. So like, how was like the first week, or how would you compare it to the deliveries?
Oh, it was amazing, bro. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, I made way more money in less the time than I would have on DoorDash.
Yeah, and you didn't have to get out the car.
I don't know if I can see that, but right now,
see it 9:32, 19. There we go.
I'll be at about 1,000 by the end of today, by 3 a.m.
Yes, sir. Oh, you drive nights?
I drive. Man, Lyft, they don't really kick you off at the 12 hours like they're supposed to.
Oh, for real? Okay.
So I'm gonna drive as long as they let me drive, man.
All right.
But the
Hell
thing that
yeah.
sparked this is I need that down payment for that house, bro. I'm finna buy a 4-unit and elevate my life, man.
There we go.
One thing I noticed too, bro, is like the houses that are in the West Coast versus the houses here are a lot different, like in structure. We have apartments that you walk in, an apartment, 3 might be on this side, 3 on this side, 3 on top, 3 on bottom. In Vegas, every hotel is like, or every apartment is like either a hotel or a big like space with like 16, 18, 20 different apartments, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that. But out here, I'm trying to buy a 4-unit right now, collect rent, elevate myself, buy a second 4-unit within 6 months, elevate myself a little bit more, get some more passive income coming in, and really retire in Vegas, bro. I plan on being done working off of the rentals and stuff in about 2.5, 3 years. I don't want to be working no more.
All right. Shit, that's the vision. There we go. Yeah. So before we get to the earnings, I'm pretty sure like within this, year and a half of driving and doing deliveries, pretty sure you had like a readaptive moment from transitioning from car salesman to DoorDash to Lyft. What are some of the things like that pretty much like open up your eyes, or some of the challenges that you had to overcome?
Man, honestly, dealing with slow time, Lyft and DoorDash ain't necessarily as much money as car sales,
Mm-hmm.
but it can be. It can be just about. Car sales, there's no cap, bro. You can make 100, you can make 150, you can make 200.
Mm-hmm.
I know a couple guys was making 300 selling cars, and it just all depends on you. Now, for sure, it's not going to be, 150, 200 doing Lyft or DoorDash, but you can make a good, 70, 80. And then if you file your taxes the right way, write off the right stuff in your taxes, mileage, expenses, this, that, and the other, you pay little to no tax on that money,
Right.
and people are not hip to that.
Nope, not at all, man. And that's the cool thing about it, is because I truly believe you learn so much. Like a lot of people don't talk about the value in it, as far as how much you learn, like the character that you build, and it really opens up your mind to, future possibilities and future goals. Like you said, once you start driving, first goal you had was, oh, I want a stack of cash. I just want to hold 20 G's. Then all right, bam, you achieve that. Oh, now I need a down payment. I need to get these units and get these rental properties, and you're probably going to achieve that as well. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
If you look for the benefits and you look for ways to win and you look for ways to grow, I mean, that's what ends up happening. Or if you just focus on, the negativity of, oh, I got to put a lot of hours in, or oh, they don't pay enough, or these $4 rides, and all this stuff that really is irrelevant. Then you miss those blessings. All right, hold up.
We're sure that $4 ride could have gave you a $20 tip, which I've had plenty of those before.
Exactly.
I'm
about to go ahead and share this screen. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Oh, hold up. I think I did the wrong way. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I didn't share.
Yeah. Another thing, man, other than the down payment for the house, I recently went through something that was like super traumatic. I almost died, actually, brother.
You want to talk about it, or?
Yeah, no, it ain't. I mean, it's serious, but it ain't nothing like. Man. So here's the crazy thing, man. I don't smoke and I don't drink, man. I don't partake, man. I truly believe like the body is a temple, and you should keep it,
pure.
Yeah. I don't got a tattoo on my body either, bro. I ended up catching the flu. The flu ended up giving me something called rhabdomyolysis, which is a sickness that made your muscles work extremely hard, like 10 times the normal rate. So your muscles contracting like this extremely hard, you're extremely fast. When you exercise, you break down muscles, which secretes a fluid called creatine kinase into your, kidneys and bloodstream, and you pee it out, and you never notice. But with me having a Rapido, my muscles were breaking down at a rate that was so much, worse than, normal. Like I lost all muscle, I lost all body fat, I lost everything, man. I ended up slimming down like 60 pounds.
Wow.
I sat in the hospital for a few weeks. Thank God we had some money saved up, but I end up sitting in the hospital for a few weeks and recovering for a few weeks. So I ended up losing like a month and a half worth of income.
Yeah.
And if you're not ahead, you're behind, bro.
Absolutely, man. Damn, well, man, good thing you're a fighter. You stayed strong and you overcame it.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, brother.
Yeah. All right, let's get to these 2 racks, man. So
yeah,
I see it right here. He was online for 91 hours,
that sounds crazy,
minutes, and for $2,139. So first, before we even go by day, like you said, the 91 hours just sounds crazy. It is crazy. So looking back at it, how did that feel? Like, was it a struggle? Like, did you want to quit or just like, oh, it wasn't too bad?
No, I ain't a quitter for one, bro. For two, probably 30 of them hours was me being online in my house waiting for bro. Laying down. One don't come.
Right. Just laying down, just chilling, just waiting for a hit.
Some 20 pop up, I'm out. Some 15 pop up, I'm out too.
Okay.
I ain't gonna get it for $3-4, but
okay. All right, cool. So like you said about 30 of those hours.
20 to 30 for sure. I was in the house waiting on something.
All right, so 30 of those hours was him, relaxing at the house, just waiting for the ride that he was looking to get. All right, so let's go to Monday. So Monday, $202. What was your thought process on Monday? Do you remember what happened? Or
oh yeah, man, Monday, Tuesdays, and this market just slow, bro. No matter what app you on,
okay,
no matter what market you're in, honestly, the weekend always gonna hit better.
Yeah, it started to pick up Wednesday. I see the 329. There we go.
Yeah.
So 329 Wednesday.
Tuesday, man, I had some family. I was upset, had family stuff going on.
Yeah, get like that.
I said killed the day.
See, and that's the beautiful thing is like there's so many ways to, make it, man. Like you start off at 202, so to make 2,000 on average is 286 per day. So it's 202, so a little under. Then 127. Then just went crazy the rest of the week. Crazy. So 329, 326, 308, 333, and 503. Let's go to the 503. What the hell happened on Sunday?
Man, it blessed me with nothing but good rides. Right, I don't know if Uber do it, but on Lyft it tell you the rate right away. Oh, if you were to do this in 1 hour, you would have made this. It kept on blessing me. 45 an hour stuff, 30 an hour stuff. My last ride of that day was like a $70 ride. To take somebody into like 50 minutes away. And it was only like a 40 or not even 40, like 35, 40-minute ride back from that spot to my house. So in like 2 hours, I made 35, 40, almost, about 30, 35 an hour. Somebody there and I'm riding back for free, but it pretty much covered the 2 hours of travel time there and back. So it's like,
hell yeah, man. The interesting thing is, like a lot of times people, it's like they never happy. Either the rides is too short. I'm not doing $4 rides, $5 rides. Then you get the longer rides. Then they complain that, I probably won't get a ride back, so I'm not accepting that at all. So what's your thought process? Like, why were you so willing to accept, those particular trips and not really, stress on getting a ride back?
Man, I don't gamble.
Okay.
In traditional sense, but I'm a gambler, bro.
Yeah.
I
know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm gonna bank on myself every time, bro. Every time. It makes sense, man. I'm quick on the math. I know my whole city and a good portion of the state. I know exactly where I'm gonna end up. I know if I want to be in that area or not. I know what the ride back gonna be like. does this ride cover my ride back as well? You know, if I'm at least $20 an hour, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know, that ride covered the ride there and a ride back for free. So I made an educated decision, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that's smart. And I know exactly what you mean when you say, you know, you're a gambler, you bet on yourself. I'm the same way because it's like, one, you have to be open minded. Like just accept the trip, see what happens.
What if you do get a ride back?
Yeah, exactly. People, what if I don't get a ride? That's exactly. What if I don't get a ride back?
What if you do?
Yeah, because if you do, then they make it all worth it. And I understand if you have something to do or like other obligations at a certain time, but a lot of times, you know, it is worth it. And you see it like $503. So, you know, people mindset, man, they block.
They block their own blessing, bro.
They're the reason why they can't make 2 racks or more. And, you know, even with because I remember you telling me that you could have probably like a $600 day on Sunday because you got to ride to Chicago. So, and Tuesday, you know, so
it was a bad thing.
That goes to show, man, like people really don't know what their market really, what they can really earn in their market unless they really test it. You know, you see it 91 hours.
Well, one thing I think, man, is, you know, what if you don't get a ride back? Cool. What if that dude give you a $20 tip, $30 tip?
Yep.
What if you don't get a ride back? You know? Yep. You know how many probably out the week, I'll probably wake up 3 or 4 days out the week with money already sitting in my account on the screen for the day because somebody tipped me from a day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and it's hitting right now.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Just happened today. I woke up to $15 already on my screen.
Man, it happens all the time. Like
all the time, bro.
And that's the thing, because a lot of times when people use the service, you know, they live in life. They going to work, they traveling, whatever they have to do. And they close the app, and they don't really open the app until they need a ride. Then once they open the app back up, then they have the option to tip. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, people they not worried about you. They, you know, some people they'll tip right then and there, or some people they'll just tip whenever they open the app back up. But, you know, it goes to show you, man, $2,139 in 91 hours. And, you know, what do you have to say for the people? Like, man, but look how many hours you had to do. You had to drive 91 hours. It shouldn't be like that.
I'm going to tell you, man, those people that do that type of stuff, man, for one, they don't take self-accountability, bro. I'm a person that, and I hate to say it, bro, but I beat myself up, bro. If I don't possibly work my hardest that I can do and possibly make the best decisions I can, bro, I feel like I'm punishing my family, you know? I'm punishing my kids, bro. You know? If I don't do everything possible that I can to make the most and do the most and put myself in the best position, they getting punished, you know?
Absolutely.
It ain't like, you know, I'm 18 anymore. And if I do something, it's just a simple mistake. No, if I do something, and you know, I'm not embarrassed, bro. I'm not embarrassed of anything. It happened, it was experience, and I learned from it. I moved to Vegas, man, a little bit prematurely, you know? And it wasn't that we couldn't afford it or nothing like that. It was more so the situation, the circumstances didn't really support what I should be doing.
Yeah.
I should be back here buying real estate like I'm doing right now, setting myself up to make 6 figures passively, setting myself up to be able to afford my dream home and sitting down, you know. And, you know, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Right now, my monthly bills between everything, bro, is just under $5,000 monthly. And that's insane. That's on the higher side for sure.
Yeah.
You know? But am I going, you know, I got 2 options. I can knock my cup over and cry about it, or I can clean it up and go and give me another glass of milk, bro.
Exactly, man. And see, I like that because that's what it is, man. It's just holding yourself accountable, like understanding where you at. I'm like, this is where I'm at. Yeah, it's not the end of the world because I'm expecting myself to be at this level. So what can I really do? Like, what do I have to learn? Who do I have to become to really get to my true full potential and where I want to be in the future? And that's the thing. Like, a lot of people are living in the past. You know, like, oh man, I did this. You know, man, it's the end of the world. I made some bad decisions. Like, look, forget all that. You don't have time to be wallowing in your self-pity. The past is, you can't change it.
Yeah, man, you can't. I used to think that you can't help everybody, but nowadays you can't help anybody because you can tell somebody right now how to make $2,000 a week. They gonna think you lying,
Yeah,
or they ain't gonna do it because they're lazy.
exactly. Or they don't have the desire. Like they'll see the hours and they be, oh, well, that's too many hours. It's like, well, I mean, the hours gonna go by anyway. So like, what are you doing throughout your life? And that's what I always say, like where the vision comes. Because if you have
it's complacency.
Yeah, if you have a vision, if you can see yourself doing something great, like you said, you already got, plans. Like you want to earn 100,000 passively, through real estate, investments, whatever the case may be. It's like, all right, now what do I have to do to get to my goal? But the average person who suffers or lack ambition or suffer from, having a goal, they just wallow. Yeah, they get complacent, they make excuses, and
they live with their mom. They don't got no real bills.
Yeah,
their girlfriend paying half on everything, which I've never done either. And I it ain't to shame nobody. If that's your situation. That's your situation. That's understandable. But it's that you're complacent is what I'm ashamed you over.
Yeah.
Do better, bro. You can make it. We can all make $1 million out there in that world, bro. Everybody got the same 24 hours, bro. We all come with a blank slate of credit. It's our mistakes that put us in worse or better positions, bro. I got a whole game plan for my brother to make $2 million legitimately. Only got to work 3 years and he can stop working. I'm like, bro, right now you a clean slate. You got no debt, no kids, and no serious commitments to no girl.
Mm-hmm.
You a clean slate. If you focus up, and I tell everybody this, I'm gonna give everybody the sauce right now because I know they're gonna see the video. If you go on DoorDash, you make $1,250 a week. That's about $65,000 a year. You keep up with your mileage, you keep up with your cell phone bill, you keep up with your insurance bill, you write it off, you pay no tax on that. I promise you won't. On top of that, you take, this is for my little brother specifically. You living with mom, you got no bills. You take $15,000 to cover your daily expenses like gas, maintenance, this, that, and the other. The other $50,000, you're gonna split that two ways. 25 gonna go to buying you a 4-unit. You're gonna collect $1,250 from each unit and live in the 4th unit for free. And the other $50,000 gonna go into an IRA annuity, something that's gonna yield you 7 to 10% a year.
Mm-hmm.
After 10 years, if you keep on rinsing and repeating the FHA process once a year, every year, and get you a new home, at one point, if we're gonna be realistic, you can start to double up and buy more than one home a year.
Yeah.
But just buying one home a year, or 4-unit every single year, and you charging $1,250 per unit. The average in my market, Milwaukee, the average 4-unit is going for $300,000, which at a bad percentage rate, average to bad percentage rate, is gonna make with your PMI, with your insurance, with your property tax and all that, it's gonna be about $2,500. You collecting 5 bands from each unit. Yes, it's going to be maintenance, yes, it's going to be upkeep, but you're collecting 5 bands, and half of that is paying itself. You buy one a year, you adding $30,000 to your income passively every year. And I'm like, bro, if you a clean slate, you a zero score, you in a better position than most people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure, man.
In years, you're gonna have $2 million.
And that's why it's good to have conversations like this to get people to really think and use their brain. People, they just look at it, oh, well, it's just, you're an Uber driver or a Lyft driver or DoorDash or gig work, and I get it. But it's also people out here who think differently. Like, okay, I want to do this because it offers the flexibility I'm looking for, and also the money that I'm looking for as depending on my current skill set and my education, because not too many places that most people can go right now and make, $2,000 in a week without having
not even $1,000.
Yeah, without having a certain education or skill set. Then they have to, go and interview, submit resumes. Hopefully they have a relationship with somebody that could, get them an interview. So like you can make this, pretty fast. So it's a lot of opportunity out here. And regardless of what people say on the internet, they always going to complain. They've been complaining for years. It's always going to be there. but you could really, you know, make something out of yourself, and this would be like the starting point of most people's foundations, like, you know, cleaning up their life, getting their shit together, you know, really trying to focus in on, you know, getting to the next level, you know, learning, growing, you know, all of that. You know, that's what, in my opinion, the 2 racks a week challenge represents. What type of advice do you have for people who haven't made 2 racks, or who haven't made 2 racks a week, or they're on the fence, like, I want to drive, you know, Uber, Lyft, but, you know, my parents or my girl or, you know, my friends, they may look at it in this particular way. Like, what do you say to that?
Man, it's either one day or day one.
Yeah.
Try it.
Yep.
That's what I tell everybody. It's either one day or day one. And I'm going to always make something day one. You know?
I like that. One day or day one. I like that a lot, you know? So, yeah, don't procrastinate. Like, just do it. What else do you have to lose? Like, you try it, you don't like it.
Doing nothing.
Yeah. At least you attempted it. Because most people, like, they complain, but they do nothing. That's the irony. They complain about something, but, you know, they do absolutely nothing in return, man. Or offer no solutions. Like, it'd be one thing if, like, look, this is a bad way to do it. This is what you should do instead. Here's why. And they have, like, some type of blueprint. I'm like, okay. But it's like, oh, this is stupid. This is dumb. Or it's not worth it. It's a scam. But don't offer any solution.
Man, I tell my girl, man, all the time, if you're gonna come with a problem, I have 2 solutions ready for me all the time. I'll call her right now and she'll tell you that. If you're gonna give me 2 solutions for me.
Right.
You know? And I'm gonna give you my solution as well, or tell you which one I think is better.
Right.
Or if they both bunk, we ain't doing either one.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. So one last question, man. Why do you think this challenge is so important?
Honestly, man, it's important because it's a realistic bracket that you can use to test yourself.
I like that.
You know, can I do it? And honestly, bro, when I'm gonna tell you how I stumbled across your page, man. Okay. Like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I was like, man, how can I make 1,000 a week? Oh man, all that stuff garbage, bro. How can I make 2,000 a week? Okay, I can see that. I can see that. It probably was like a year and a half. How long you been driving the Uber Lyft?
Man, I think about 8, like 7, 8. Yeah.
I heard money was way better back when. 2020, 2021, COVID.
Yeah, like around, I think the best I've seen it was I'll say 2019, maybe 28. It's hard to say because I started to take it, you know, real serious in like 2019 because I started part-time, you know, just BS. And then once I made a decision to really go crazy, then that's when I really started to see like 2,800, 3,000. And what I seen, the difference was the incentives. Like they used to have, well, at least where I was at in San Francisco, like the Quest, they'll have maybe Monday through Thursday, 70 trips for like $300. Then on weekend, you get like another $200-$300. Then they had like consecutive trip bonuses at certain times for like 7 a.m. to like 9 a.m. You get additional 12, sometimes $18 to $20 for every 3 trips. So it was like crazy.
And the reason I asked you is because somebody told me back in like 2018, 2019, 2020, around there, it was possible to make 100,000 plus doing this. Very possible. And, you know, a lot of, you know, our people and minorities didn't know it, man. It was, you know, people from the Middle East, you know, Arab, Indian people, you know, they keep tight hush-hush in their community, man. Like, let's all do, and we should be like this more. Let's all do this. I'm making this amount. You should do it too. And they'll take their advice as, you know, as the gospel and as what, you know, the law.
Right. No, there's definitely some truth in that. I think the reality is, I think it just have to be in you. You know, like you really have to be focused on like growth and personal development and really trying to, you know, get to a level that you at. It's like really grow as a as an individual and not live a life of hedonism and be around a bunch of distractions. Like you said, like you was on YouTube trying to figure out how to make $2,000. If other people on YouTube just trying to be entertained or use social media for entertainment, it's like they would never, have these type of, thoughts. So that's one thing I noticed. The people who I have interviewed on the 2 Racks a Week challenge are more focused on growth, personal development, goal setting and stuff like that, really trying to live a better life. Because even, man, I told plenty of people, they still not going to do it.
Oh, yeah. Man, listen, right now, I'm focused also on trying to get my followers up so I can do the TikTok affiliate stuff and sell things on TikTok, man. That's plenty money.
Yeah.
I'm getting stuck, though, around the 50 to 100,000 views range on certain videos and stuff like that, man.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find out how I can bust through that barrier, get my affiliate marketing, and start selling stuff on TikTok, man, because people – I've seen and know personally people that's made, 20, 30 grand in a month selling stuff on TikTok, man, because the video went viral and 1,000 people bought something. You might get 1 million views and then 1,000 to 10,000 people buy something. You make X, Y, and Z, whatever y'all, agreed upon percentage is, bro. Right now, I'm trying to get as much passive income as I can. And, that's technically not passive, but, I do very minimal work and yield a high, profit margin on that type of stuff. And, I got a friend that just started doing YouTube, man. He never thought he could do it, bro. Now all his videos hitting a couple 100,000. He's making thousands of dollars a month on YouTube, brother. Thousands of dollars, And he never thought he can do it. He thought that was something that was like fake or, like those people were pre-selected and people were no so-and-so. I'm like, bro, no, anybody can get on the internet and do it. Anybody can go on Lyft and drive a car.
Right.
Anybody's capable of anything, bro.
Yep. No, you're right. Anybody's capable of anything. It all depends what your goals are and are you going to actually take the step to attempt it. Because what was the saying that you had? Day one, first day, or
one day? It's going to either be one day or day one.
Yeah, one day or day one.
Sure.
Yeah. So, which person are you? Are you the person to just sit back and wait and I'll just get to it one day, or are you person to to take action and like, all right, let me try it. Like even though like I don't know if it's gonna work, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm at least try it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I got at least see it through. And a lot of times then you get in the routine. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
All right. Any last words before we get up out of here?
Honestly, man, all I'm gonna say is, man, make yourself uncomfortable. Get out your comfort zone, bro. If there's anything I always tell somebody is make yourself uncomfortable. A big reason I didn't go back to selling cars and getting an easy 100,000 a year, bro, is because I knew I wasn't gonna grow doing that, brother. I knew I was gonna become complacent, bro. So I broke myself out of it, man. I can go to any dealership right now with my experience, show commission slips, show whatever I got to show, and walk in and get a job selling cars and make 190, 110, 120,000. That's always in my back door, That's always possible. If I'm ever down to the wall and completely messed up, I can always go and do that, brother. But I force myself in uncomfortable positions as far as, financials. And that sounds terrible. I'm going to change myself to where I'm making more so I can grow to do. And that's how I work.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be, I never once was late on my rent. Never made a late credit at 18. I mean, not lie. At 18, I had a late credit. Maybe not lie to y'all at all. But other than that, I never was late on anything, bro. My car payments have always been on time. My credit card payments have always been on time. My rent always been on time. So if I force myself into an uncomfortable position, I'm going to find a way to thrive. Yeah. And it's either in you or it's not. It's either you got the dog or you don't, But anybody can be average. Depends on what cut you want to be. You're going to be cut above the rim or you're going to be below the rim,
Absolutely, man. I couldn't say it, no better than that. And I 100% agree with that. It all depends where you want to be in life, man. You want to be average, below average, or above average, you know.
Man, I'm gonna be a millionaire by 30, bro.
There you go.
Be a
How old are you now?
Working. Huh?
How old are you now?
I'm 27.
27? All right.
And if
So,
I don't got a million, I'm at least have $500,000 in the bank account, bro.
There we go.
But pretty close. My gift for myself for 30 is a Rolls Royce, bro. And I'm gonna get it, bro.
There we go.
I'm gonna get it.
See, I like people who have that confidence and talk like that because, you know, one last thing, because, you know, sometimes I joke around my passengers. I'm like, what's your dream car? I don't have one. I never thought about it.
It's a lie.
It's like, what do you think about? Like, what do you think about?
I'm gonna be double R Cullinan, man. Rolls Royce Cullinan, man. And I'm gonna buy a house in Vegas in the next couple of years, bro. After I get my next couple, if I get a couple 4 units something ready for my belt, man. And I'm coming back to Vegas, and I'm gonna buy a house in Summerlin on the golf course, bro.
Okay.
for sure, man. You laughing, bro?
Nah,
I
like
see.
it.
I'm gonna message you on Instagram, man.
Yeah, please do, man. But ladies and gentlemen, another winner of the 2 racks a week challenge. Shout out to Milwaukee, because Milwaukee has been a consistent market for like the past few years. So I have to go through and look at all of the winners from their markets and see which market has the best or the most winners. I have to do an update. So I think we are about like 107 2 racks a week calls. So so it's up there. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, Ronnie Speed over and out. Mr. 2 racks a week. Drum roll, guitar, piano.
Ronnie Speed, yeah, Ronnie Speed, 60 hours.